It's the Jeffrey Epstein case, Donald Trump, the DOJ, Mike Johnson. And so first of all, Mike Johnson saying that Donald Trump's a snitch. That's super interesting. I'm going to read you the exact quote in a minute. And that he's saying that he worked with the FBI. He was an informant. Was that well known? I don't know. I didn't know that. And so that's super interesting as to why he said that and what he meant by that, and if people are going to follow up on that. And then NBC News just broke a story about there's two Epstein associates that the Department of Justice is trying to protect, desperately trying to protect. So that is weird. So let me tell you about that case first, and then I will tell you about how Mike Johnson thinks that Donald Trump apparently deserves stitches. So we'll come back to that. I'm playing around with snitches to get stitches. Okay. Maybe that explains the hand. Okay. All right. We'll come back to that. And of course, remember, guys, when I talk about videos or anything, we'll show that to you guys. Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern is when we're live. Obviously, Monday at 6 o'clock, we'll have all the video for you guys and all the latest stories. Make sure you're checking that out. Ring the bell so you get videos like this when we start doing them, so you can get it as part of breaking news. All right. So first on the DOJ story. So apparently Epstein had two guys, and this is public knowledge, that he had given money to. So already that's slightly strange, right? Because normally he collects money from people. Blackmail. I mean, do we really even have to say blackmail? There was video recorders in all the rooms. What is he recording him for? Of course it was for blackmail. So that's the most obvious thing in the world. Some guy, some Israeli hack is in there talking about how great Israel is in the live chat. Brother, we didn't say anything about Israel, but thank you for the confession about Epstein. We appreciate it. They're constantly telling on themselves. Anyways, so and I'll try to give you guys shout outs if you become a member by hitting the join button below while I'm live on air, or do super chats, etc. So anyways, Epstein gave one guy $100,000. He gave another guy $250,000. And so NBC News is like, okay, great, let's find out who they are. Good job. Okay, that is good reporting. I appreciate that. So what do? They asked for the court records on it because Epstein, weirdly, in his plea agreement, insisted that they not be prosecuted. So of course that gets to who's behind Epstein. Why is Epstein receiving payments? Why is Epstein making payments in this case? So, but that is what the government does not want you to find out at all. And now Epstein's dead, so plea agreements with him are irrelevant. And there's no reason why you couldn't share these names. And the Department of Justice jumps out in court and goes, no. The Epstein friends and associates can never be released. Your Honor, please protect all the pedophiles, all the child rapists. Please protect them. Don't let anyone know who worked with Epstein and got those payments from Epstein. That's from Trump's Department of Justice, and all the guys who pretended that they cared about the Epstein files and that they wanted them released, etc. Apparently, they didn't want any of that. They wanted the exact opposite, okay? And as my Israeli brother here realizes, yeah, it's an intelligence agency, and that's why they're all desperate to cover it up. And thank you, brother, for putting up the American flags. You put up Israeli flags all you want, brother. Thank you for watching and contributing and helping us get more money. We appreciate it. But we live in America, so I don't know, you probably live in Israel. You're a bot or a troll or whatever you are. But if your loyalties are to Israel, then, here in America, we have a phrase for that. It's called fuck off. Okay. So go back to Israel or wherever you're from. And whoever you are, by the way, with the American flags, there you go. More people. I love it. Left, right, doesn't matter. We're for America and not for other countries, okay? But unfortunately, our own government isn't for America. Epstein and his associates raped apparently about 1,000 girls, American girls. And American government's like, I don't want anybody finding out. What if they find out it's the CIA or Mossad or whoever actually controls this country, because it doesn't look like it's us. I don't know anyone on the left or right who says, "Oh, I don't want the Epstein files," except curiously, like this brother, supporters of Israel. They're literally the only ones going, "No, no, 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 no files, no associates. Don't it. It's a hoax. It's a mess. It's a mess. Anti-Semites." We didn't say anything until they all started freaking out about how nobody should see the Epstein files. Shapiro and all the Mark Levin and all the other supporters of Israel. Guys, you made it so freaking obvious. It wasn't, nobody was even thinking about it until you all started screaming, "No, no, protect the guilty, protect the pedophiles. Don't protect American girls. Who cares?" It's like, oh, okay, that's weird. That's super weird. Anyway, Super Platino man, thank you, brother, for writing in. And yeah, Trump has defended the Epstein abusers. He supports Bibi and the genocide, of course, because they're all dogs, and they're told by their owners what to do, and they bark like little puppies and follow along to whoever the deep state is. And look, it's entirely possible that the deep state in America is not our deep state. It's someone else's deep state. Anyway, so then that turns us, speaking of deep state, that turns us to Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House. They asked him, "Hey, you're saying that Trump is saying that it's a hoax, this whole thing." But there were all those women in the press conference with Tom Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Ro Khanna. And there they are. We saw the women. The women say it wasn't just Epstein and Maxwell. It was many, many, many other guys. Are they all lying? Are you saying they're lying? That this is all the Democrats made them say it? Why did the Democrats make Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tom Massey say it? How did they make him? And so it's absurd. So he can't defend it. So instead, he's going to come up with something else. And that's very interesting. Craig Allen, thank you, brother, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Greg writes in, "I don't have a degree in mathematics nor any experience in finance or managing money. Why won't anyone give me millions or a giant New York penthouse?" Well, it depends. If you were friends with Ehud Barak and he came over 30 times, you might get the exact same thing, as long as you put up a giant map of Israel of your palace and et cetera, et cetera. Anyways, so yeah, by the way, guys, I love what's going on in the live chat. That's why I always try to check out the show live, whether we're live at 6 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday, or it's I do these weekend ones, because now I love left, right, center, everybody flying the American flag. Every time a guy puts up an Israeli flag, which they love to do, like Israel first, everybody bow. If you don't bow to Israel, you're all anti-Semites. I accuse all Americans of being hateful, and you should all shut up. You should all be fired, right? Israel first, and they fly the Israeli flag. Okay, good, fly it. Then we should, every time you see the Israeli flag, drown it out in American flags. Brother, this is not your country, okay? This is America. If you want to, that's okay. Look, I don't mind you fly, everybody can fly whatever flag you like, but our flag here is the American flag, okay? So, oh yeah, and what's the Israeli flag about these days? Like you want to fly an Israeli flag normally, I don't care. That's your business, right? But these days, when you aggressively put out 100 Israeli flags, what you're saying is, I love genocide. I love murdering Palestinian babies. I'm so proud. Israel, we haven't murdered enough Palestinian babies yet. Or our genocide is not large enough yet. It's not a Holocaust yet. Oh, Israel. That's what you're proud about? That's what you're waving it for that? I'm proud of all these America's scripted wisdom. Thank you, brother, for the super chat. Waving the American flag, saying that's not what we're about. We love America. We love equality and justice. We love Jews, Muslims, Christians, just the same. Sorry that we're not in favor of Jewish supremacy in Israel, and how we're all supposed to say that Palestinian babies are worthless and you could slaughter as many of them as you like. Otherwise, we all are anti-Semites. No, I'm not going to say that. And when these days, when you fly the Israeli flag and you're super proudly pro-genocide, thank you for telling on yourself. Okay, so that way any decent person in decent society can avoid you, because you're a racist and a bigot, and you think that Arab lives don't matter, Arab children don't matter, and that they should be slaughtered by your beloved Israel. Well, that's not what America stands for. America stands for equality and justice. I'm super proud that we rescued folks from the Holocaust. And I'm sickened that we're actively being forced to pay for a genocide. because Israel. No, that shit doesn't fly anymore. You go try that bullshit on TV where all the anchors are like, I'm so afraid of it, criticizing Israel. Oh, no. Don't call Israel terrorists. How dare you? How dare you? They're allowed to murder 60 times the number of civilians, 70, 80 times the number of civilians as Hamas. They're allowed to murder 500 times the number of children as Hamas. But Hamas are terrorists because they're dirty Arabs. Arabs, Palestinians, Muslims. That's what every cable news anchor in America is doing. Not one of them has condemned a genocide. Not one. Cowards and racists. You want to call people anti-Semites? Let's two can play at that game. Anyone still in favor of this genocide in Israel is obviously racist. They're the most racist people in the world, saying that Palestinian babies' lives don't matter because they're not precious Israeli lives. Oh, I believe in my people are superior. You killed 36 Israeli terrorists, and they are. That's terrible. Those are 36 innocent Israeli children that died on October 7th. So you turn around and go say 20,000, 20, not 20, not 36, 20,000 Palestinian children. And of course their lives matter. Israelis go, no. If you think a Palestinian baby's life is worth anything, then you're an anti-Semite. What kind of sick person are you? Sick. And you make anti-Semitism way worse by associating it with good Jews that have nothing to do with that. They're not like this loser, this asshole who's pro-genocide. Tons of, unfortunately, people these days still, including almost everyone in mainstream media, still kissing Israel's ass in the middle of a genocide, pretending to be news anchors. The most biased, racist people in America are cable news anchors. I'm going to get to Mike Johnson in a second. Dylan Kurtz, thank you, brother. Appreciate the super chat. DJ Payne, you as well. And thank you. Look, you say thank you for all of TYT for keeping passionately honesty and challenging the corruption. Well, I appreciate you, brother. But we can't do it without you. If you're not a member here, their Israeli supporters are the biggest thugs in the country. So they're constantly like, oh, that guy criticized Israel. That lady criticized Israel. Let's get them fired. Fire their family members. Fire them. Cancel them. And then they're like, oh, yeah, we're the good guys. Well, you're a bunch of thugs who say that if we don't bow your head to your evil genocidal government, that we should our lives should be ruined. We're not the bad guys. You're the bad guys. So if you're trying to get people fired to protect Israel, you're despicable. You're a bunch of thugs. Okay? Why don't you try being Americans and caring about equality and justice instead of your beloved Israel? Beloved Israel can do anything. Beloved Israel can murder tens of thousands of children, and it doesn't matter. Everyone must bow. I don't bow. I'm an American. I don't bow. Let's go to Mike Johnson. What Trump is referring to is the hoax that the Democrats are using to try to attack him. So this is him trying to avoid the hoax nonsense, So he says, because, Trump's an idiot. He's going around saying it's a hoax when it's obviously not a hoax. Mike Johnson can't say it's a hoax because he'll look ridiculous and stupid. So he's like, oh, no, he said hoax, but he doesn't mean hoax. Okay, all right, Mike, then what else does he mean? He has never said or suggested or implied. I've talked to him about this many times. He's horrified. He's never said that, brother. He's never said he's horrified. Every time you ask him about Ghislaine Maxwell, he's like, oh, I wish her well. I wish her well. Jeffrey Epstein, terrific guy. Well, we did have a falling out. What was the falling out about? Well, let's tell you Mike Johnson's version, then I'll tell you reality. He says, he's horrified. It's been misrepresented. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. No, that is literally what he said. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. He never says it, but he told me, and you believe me when I tell you that Trump said it to me secretly. But every time he goes on air, he goes, oh, it's a hoax. It's a Democratic hoax. There are no clients. No one got hurt at all. Everything's fine with my beloved, terrific guy, Jeffrey Epstein, who I know likes him young. There's nothing wrong. Before you thought there was a lot wrong. You and all your associates, Epstein files. Now you're in charge all of a sudden. Wow, I don't see any Epstein. Now Mike Johnson lying on his behalf, but then he slips, and this is the interesting part. He says, he's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. Nope. It's sorry. Trump is too stupid. So he actually said why he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He should have said that. That was an easy lie and would have worked. A lot of his supporters would have believed it. It's a logical thing to say, but since he's so maniacally stupid, he couldn't say it. Instead of saying, "Hey, I was outraged by when I heard what this monster was doing," instead he said he was stealing my masseuses. I didn't like it. I liked when they were massaging the young girls. Now he takes the young girls and has them massage other people. He stole my masseuses. He stole the young girls from me. That's what I didn't like. So you're worried about competition over young girls who were giving massages, and you wanted them at Mar-a-Lago instead of Epstein's place. Thank God he's so stupid. He just says these things out loud. Thank you for the confession that you didn't care about the girls at all. You were worried about the massage, the spa business at Mar-a-Lago. Wow, you sound like a real humanitarian. So that's an obvious lie from Mike Johnson. But here comes the kicker, the important part. So again, I'll start in this part. Quote, when he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down, Mike Johnson said about Donald Trump. An FBI informant? Trump's a snitch? And he just drops it in there. And you know what was interesting? That's why I want to show you the video on Monday. Because as soon as he says it, Mike Johnson does something weird with his eyes, like, oh no, like I shouldn't have said that. Like, I gotta show you the video. Like, it was like, oh no, oh, it was like a panic eye roll. And so, by the way, I'm not surprised by that. Like, Donald Trump is a classic mobster, right? And a lot of the mobsters are secretly FBI informants, and that's how they stay on top, and that's how they stay unprosecuted, and all of their enemies and their rivals get put away. So when Trump used mob lawyers his whole life, he learned from mobsters who were his good allies and friends. And so could Trump be an FBI informant? Yeah, of course. And the Speaker of the House, who just claims he's having these conversations and Donald Trump is telling him what is real and what is true. He just said it. So I guess he's an FBI informant. Okay. So I don't know if you think that's a good thing, a bad thing. You know, I was kidding around earlier about that. Maybe that's the hand. The snitches get snitches get stitches, and maybe that's what the bruising and stuff. I don't know. Okay, I'm kidding. Of course, that has nothing to do with the hand, but that I don't know if it helps or hurts his street cred to be a snitch, because if he was snitching on Epstein, that's not such a bad thing. Unless he knew about Epstein, he got caught, Trump, and then he had to snitch on Epstein in order to protect himself. That would be very interesting. Okay. And to this day, I don't know if it's that Trump himself personally did it, or he's just covering up for the intelligence agencies, ironically serving the deep state, right? So how amazing would that irony be if it turns out Donald Trump was working for the deep state? So Mike Johnson keeps going, right? But the rest of it is just standard schlop. You know, he and I have spoken about this as recently as 24 hours ago. So, okay, so he is an FBI informant, according to Mike Johnson. What he's talking about is Democrats who are doing this with impure motives. Yeah, a lot of politicians have pure motives. If they care so much about this, why didn't they do something during the first 4 years of the Biden administration? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, sure. I agree. And I challenge the Biden administration. I challenge every administration. I challenge Democrats, Republicans. And if Democrats get in office and they don't release them either, which, by the way, is almost certainly what they'll do. Like, people who are so biased, they assume you're as biased. So, like, Israelis will assume you're as racist as they are. So they hate Arabs, and they think that Palestinian lives and Muslim lives are worthless. So they assume that you think that about Israelis or Jews. Well, no, we're not as evil as you guys are. No, I think Israeli lives are just as precious as any other life. They're a human being, right? But, you know, since the Israelis are now these days, especially their government, is deeply, deeply racist. Their supporters are bigots who say murdering tens of thousands of Muslims is no big deal. They assume the same thing of you. And here, they say, oh, yeah, I mean, I'm protecting guilty Republicans from the Epstein files. So I assume you're protecting guilty Democrats. No, I'm not. I don't care about the guilty Democrats. In fact, I want them exposed. I want all of them exposed. And we've been clear about that from day one. So you can do whataboutisms, but Biden's not in charge right now. You're in charge. So are you going to release the Epstein files, Mike Johnson? No, you're not, are you? Who's Mike Johnson's number one donor? Oh, right, AIPAC. Probably a coincidence, though. Probably a coincidence. Okay. And our loser cable news anchors. Oh, no, that's a coincidence. You can't even say that. You can't even talk about how AIPAC is given and the Israeli lobby has given money to 90% of Congress. You're an anti-Semite if you state facts. If you state facts about how the Israelis are obviously controlling our government, we're going to ruin you by calling you hateful and a bigot. No, you're racist. Every cable news anchor in this country is either a coward or a racist who thinks 20,000 dead Palestinian children are no big deal because their beloved Israel did it. And they're going to protect the people doing the genocide, and they're going to character assassinate the people who are the victims of the genocide. That's our so-called news industry in America. I'm so proud that we do the Young Turks. And for however long we last, and the Israeli supporters are coming after us 2,000%, right? These guys, we can't shut them up. They have these members, and they get... So we have to deplatform. We have to fire. You can't let them criticize Israel. You thugs, we're still here. We're still here, thugs. Why? Because we have members who support us. We have people who join people. We have people who do super chats. We tell the truth about Epstein. We tell the truth about Israel. We tell the truth about Republicans and Democrats. We just keep on telling the truth. We stubbornly tell the truth. Does it pay? Hell no. Hell no. You see what Barry Weiss, the Free Press, I mean, they said in the New York Post, oh, we're going to overpay her. We're going to pay her more because she's pro-Israel. They're saying if you're a media dog for Israel, you will get paid a lot of money. If you criticize Israel, nothing for you. Nothing will try to ruin you, right? But we're here because of you guys. Keep driving them crazy by supporting us or anyone else you like who's actually telling you the truth about both parties, about the deep-seated corruption in American government, the deep-seated corruption in American media. Like people in news, in the New York Times and Washington Post and CNN, let alone those folks at MSNBC or whatever the fuck they're called now, all right? So all those people, they couldn't notice that money in politics might be bribing our officials. They couldn't notice that we can't negotiate drug prices and it costs us trillions of dollars because our crooked, disgusting politicians all take money from the drug companies. That both the Republicans and crooked, dirty Democrats, crooked, dirty Republicans, they're all crooked and dirty. 95% of them. They gorge on the drug company money and go, that's it. Charge the American people more. Get more from grandmothers and grandfathers and abuse American citizens. You work for me now, dog. That's big pharma. That's big pharma. But cable news, I don't know what big pharma is. Politicians who got millions of dollars from big pharma, I mean, it doesn't affect them at all. There is no corruption. Oh, the senators and representatives, they're noble, honorable gentlemen and gentle ladies. They are worthy of our respect. No, they're worthy of nothing. 95% of them are the very worst people in the country. When you see a national politician, 95% of them are total and utter dogs of their donors. They're corporate donors, they're foreign donors. They're not worthy of any respect. You should look at them and think, those are the very worst people among us. You should shame them. You prostitutes working for foreign governments, working for corporations. Big oil gets $35 billion a year in oil subsidies. What the fuck for? What for? What for? Would they need more money? They're the most profitable companies in the world. No, they're literally robbing us. They rob us go back to work, Americans. Now they're saying you got to work longer. They're going to move the retirement age up. Israel doesn't have enough wars. Big oil doesn't have enough of our subsidies. Big pharma hasn't limited competition enough. All of you back to the mines. You work longer, Americans, because you have to work for corporate rule. And that's what corporate media dogs say to protect corporate dog politicians. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. And I love that Young Turks members allow us to tell you the truth and to get the truth out there. And tell everybody, whichever show, These politicians are all dirty. When you take the money, you work for the people who's giving you the money. You're not running a business. You're supposed to be a representative of us. It's supposed to be a democracy. You're not supposed to represent the rich and the powerful and foreign nations. You're supposed to represent us, the voters. But 95% of them don't do that at all. They're proudly, disgustingly corrupt. And the only reason why 100% of the country doesn't know that is because mainstream media is the biggest element of corruption in America. They love protecting corruption. There's nothing more that the New York Times loves than hiding money in politics from you guys. Oh, no. Don't say Israel controls. Don't say big oil controls. Don't say big pharma controls. Don't say these are legalized bribes. Oh, that's conspiratorial. That's anti-Semitic. That's anti-oil. Whatever the fuck you're coming up with. I mean, imagine thinking you're a reporter and your whole life you're like, oh my God, I made it to the New York Times. I'm such a good reporter. Okay, hey, what's happening in politics? Why did Trump give the oil companies now another extra $18 billion in subsidies? Shh. Oh, well, you can criticize Trump from time to time, okay? But how about those crooks who are helping him pass those subsidies? 95% of Congress, how about them? Shh. Don't tell the American people. Don't tell the American people that these politicians are scum. These politicians don't work for you. Their job is to rob you of your money and give it to their donors. Shh. They are honorable people who had a debate, and the Republicans won the ideological debate about the big, beautiful bill. That is why the rich got all of the money, because they won the debate. You guys laugh your ass off. You get off from the New York Times, go to the bar and go, we wrote another bullshit story about how the politicians had a debate. And then one side won the debate over the other. And you guys know, right? You all know it's a robbery. Or are you so stupid that you work as a mainstream media reporter, journalist, and you don't know that bribery controls 98% of politics, legalized bribery? You don't know that? Please retire. Go make some money. Go be a banker or something. Don't embarrass yourself. You're just a low-level marketing executive for the rich and powerful. And all you do is propaganda for them. No. Israel has no control. Oil companies have no control. Big pharma has no control. No. Beloved politicians. No, those politicians are scum. All right. Adam Suter, thank you. Saying thanks to you and Anna. Fuck Mark Levin. I used to listen to him religiously. Oh, wow. Thank you for talking about the corruption left, right, and center. I can't stand it. Adam, way to have an open mind, brother. Way to go. So look, you wind up listening to whatever you listen to. That's not the issue. The algorithms brought you there. TV brought you there. Whatever brought you there, right? But the fact that you actually listened and kept an open mind, that's everything, brother. We asked you to do that about us, about everyone, okay? So that's the way to go and be a real American. Catherine Cow, thank you for the super chat saying, or Katrine, I don't know. I love checking in with you on the weekends. Thanks for the lives, Jenk. I appreciate you guys. All right. Thanks to everybody who wrote in, and I will see you Monday at 6 o'clock. I do get myself worked up over the weekends. All right. Much love, guys. See you Monday.